The final series of the night is upon us, as we now find our two players, Stardust and BabyKnight, battling out for that last spot in the round of 16.
Yeah, I didn't think this would be the last game of the evening, but it is. First, just demolished today's group, and he is a player to look out for, to bet on, to predict on, to do well for the rest of the season. And now it comes down to our final game. European, retired European versus Korean, playing from Korea. So this is a pretty weird last game to end on for us here.
Yep.
And thanks for all of you for sticking with us after that Sormos game. That was quite an intense, long game. But now going on to this one. Right. Not exactly sure which way this is going to go. But even Stardust playing from Korea, I would have to start to favor Stardust here.
Yeah, I mean, his PvP has looked monstrous in the past, from what we've seen from him. Yes, it didn't go quite the way he wanted to against First, but, I mean, it's First. He's playing from Europe. So it's a really weird situation we find ourselves in here in the last series.
Absolutely, because if BabyKnight wins, he actually extends his career a little bit further, because he said that he was going to play StarCraft, keep on playing within the season until he was eliminated from the season. So if he wins today, like we mentioned earlier, he actually grabs $3,000. The advancement into the round of 16 is $1,000. And then to be able to be in the Premier League for the following season, which then he would play again, is another $2,000. So by winning this game, he would extend his career by at least another 4 months, which is rather interesting considering he retired a couple of days ago. So not too sure how he'll do. Maybe he will just completely stop after the round of 16 or something and just practice Dota, and then come in for the round of 32 and take his money and leave. Maybe. I would imagine. But Stardust can be eliminated here. This is huge.
All right, well, spawning down at the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss. It is BabyKnight. And up to the top right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss representing my insanity. It's Stardust.
Let's hope Stardust has some tricks up his sleeves, because he can be eliminated here, and he is not retiring anytime soon. He has goals to do extremely well. So if he was to be eliminated here, this is a massive, massive disaster for Stardust, and it is a pain in the backside for my insanity as well, who have already lost Jack G and could lose Stardust as well. Could lose both of their Titan players already in the round of 32. And of course, not so sad for the Korean players either, who would lose a third player already in the round of 32.
Yeah, it's a really good point that you make, due to the fact that if Stardust were to have gone out, if we didn't see both Stardust and Jack G in the later rounds, that is massive, absolutely massive. So BabyKnight here, looking to pull out one of the, well, I think there's been, you know, Hearthstone was quite the upset, but this would be an extreme upset if Stardust were to go out to BabyKnight.
Stardust currently ranked 10th in the world. Just, you know, already a very impressive start to his 2014 campaign within the WCS with his top 8 finish last season, and multiple high-placing finishes outside of the Premier League with his top 8 at DreamHack, and he wasn't that far away from going into the quarterfinals either. But a really, really solid player who's looking for the global finals, and we talked about it a lot throughout every season, how important it is not to drop points if you've got the caliber to win them. Upsets are so hurtful to your game plan, your end game plan, which is the global finals, losing out on so many points.
7-minute score goes down for Stardust here, and a little bit later for BabyKnight in the end, as the minerals work out. But Stardust already sent out the probe to go for the scout. Scouted out for proxies, didn't find any. He's going to go in now. He's going to have a look at the gas timings, and he's going to find that his opponent is pretty much exactly the same that he was up until the point where he put into 3-3.
Yeah, very similar setup, but a little bit faster Cybernet score and faster gateway for Stardust. And everything so far, just a few seconds, about 5-10 seconds behind for BabyKnight here. BabyKnight with just a single gateway and double gas. Looks like he's going to tech. He could expand from this depending on what he builds from the gateway. And this is a decent map to expand on. It is a Stalker for first. I mean, for the first unit out, not for first. He's already left this group.
Yeah, he's done, man. He's done.
Double gateway here for Stardust, which is a little bit confusing. This can be double gateway into third gateway pressure. Can be double gateway tech and double gateway expansion. So a little bit misleading. No idea what this means. BabyKnight looking at Stardust build. And we have a Stargate down for BabyKnight. Going to attempt Oracle here, probably, like he wanted to against first.
And again, Stardust does know that there is that pylon up to the top left of his opponent's base, so he might be anticipating the kind of reactions that would come out of that. We'll have to find out in just a little bit.
Waiting to see what Stardust is going to do with his Chrono Boost, and it's into the double gateways.
All right, that's
which is a lot. That's 5 Stalkers are going to come out.
Yeah.
Second and third on the way, he'll build a 4th and 5th behind it.
That's strong firepower.
Then he does start to bank quite a bit of gas too, so he may be a sentry. I don't know. There's like 250 gas in the bank. That's a lot of gas he's banked up with this.
Where's it going to go?
I'm not sure. Whenever I do this, I always look at my gas and I'm like, wow, I've got a lot of gas.
Yeah.
And then I end up building 2 sentries and expanding or something silly. All right. BabyKnight. Phoenix.
Against Twilight Council.
Yeah, not the best setup here, especially with all this pressure coming out.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix don't really deal with this all too well, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, this is pretty good for Stardust to put the pressure on here. Photon Overcharge will be forced out in 14 Energy's time. It isn't ready yet, and it is only 2 Stalkers. This is already good for Stardust.
Yeah. He's going to have to bring the Phoenix back for the defense for a second, at least.
Yeah. But if he turns around and kills a lot with the Phoenixes and doesn't really lose much, like if he picks up 2 Stalkers here, gets in the fight, chases another one down, this is pretty good for BabyKnight.
Yeah. Stardust actually split the probe off to get confirmation of what it was, because he didn't see the Phoenix up until then. So, and then when they came back, unfortunately, he loses a Stalker or 2.
Really big win for BabyKnight.
Yeah, very good.
Really big win.
Good reactions, though, to just in general get back home with those Phoenix, because if you don't, then you're not really going to get that damage done.
All right, looks like we are going to see BabyKnight flip the switch. He's already he's got these 3 Phoenixes. Always got to be careful. He can lift a little bit more in a bit. He's got to pile up to the top left. He's building another Phoenix. He can warp in more Stalkers and units and go for the aggression.
Yeah, 3 gateways worth, which is
Remember,
not too bad.
there's no Mothership Core with this build that Stardust goes for.
And
so
Phoenix don't die that fast. So if you lift up these sentries...
He does have an Immortal, but that will be the target to be lifted up. He now sees his opponent outside there.
Gotta get the
force
sentries.
field. Oh, he doesn't force field.
Yeah, picks them up. But he picked up so many that he wasn't actually killing them.
Oh, he got force field on.
Yeah,
How did he
it dropped because there was only 3 Phoenix. There was 4 Phoenix and 3 of them were lifting, so they didn't die quickly
And now
enough.
an Immortal and no lifts.
Oh, that was weird. All right, bye-bye, Stalker.
Yeah, that's a survive, that is, and probably means an expansion.
If he'd have picked up the sentries slower, then I feel that that would have been a bit better there.
3 more Zealot, he's going to go for it again. He can lift the Immortal soon, though. And he's building another one. Blink is on its way. Stardust, where is the Mothership Core? I guess he kind of just thrown all of his gas and resources into units here. But Blink is on the way, and Blink is huge. He's going to expand. He thinks BabyKnight's expanding right now. He's moving down with a probe. You're crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Sees another big warp in, and now he's got other plans.
Run away!
Time to get back.
It's pretty radical, gotta say. More lifts actually in the main base, getting a few workers himself. BabyKnight might expand off the back of this actually with the probe in there natural.
Yeah, he can contain from this point, remember. Yeah. But Blink is done soon, which he should be well aware of, which means he can blink down and kill everything, or almost everything. So
can't stick around for too long.
Yeah, I don't know why he's warped in more units to keep him inside the base longer, but this is like counterintuitive.
Yeah, if he tries to separate off these units, are you going to go?
Almost done. He tries to drag the units. He like gets the Zealots down to drag them into the Stalkers.
Yeah.
He can blink down soon.
He wants the Immortal down there.
I'm so surprised that BabyKnight's here. Does he not realize he's playing against Blink?
I guess not. That's so many Stalkers. Uh-oh. All right, if he gets the Immortal down there, then he can easily blink down. He actually picks it up, though, with those Phoenix.
Blink is done. Missed that blink.
And tries to blink back. He loses the Immortal. This is a really weird game so far, but BabyKnight is somehow pushing through, making it work. 28 supply against 20.
Too many Stalkers, surely.
He's going to have to blink back as best he can against this.
Phoenix is just worth their weight in gold here with all these lifts.
Yeah, they're doing well for themselves, but again, the Blink Stalker's prevailing, working forwards, now blinking forwards, and all this army can't retreat because Blink is there.
Yeah, and he may go on the counterattack here.
Has to.
He may. He's going to throw down a Nexus here, Stardust, but he does survive. There's a lot of Stalkers there, and BabyKnight did throw a lot of that in the meat grinder. All right, so it's 3 gateways in the Stargate. We still have 5 Phoenixes, which at this point are less defensive units, more aggression. He'd like to get into the probe lines to slow his opponent down further while extending his own economy.
I mean, that really tells the tale of this game in terms of resources lost between them. So close, but BabyKnight has been mining from his natural a little bit quicker, so that helps. There's another Zealot being warped in here for BabyKnight to try and go.
Where is BabyKnight going with this? He's chrono boosting into the Nexus, just furthering his own economy. These 5 Phoenixes are, you know, can do a lot. That's why we have Stalkers in the main base here for Stardust. Forge coming in. I'll be looking at an upgrade soon. What's BabyKnight's next plan? He's got a lot of chrono boost. Does he want... He can't really attack, so he just kind of has to keep chrono boosting and start a, you know, Forge of his own. Oh, that's interesting. He's like, I don't like it up there.
No, it's not nice.
Phoenixes trying to try and go in. Nothing.
Try it and push back. This is...
Normalizing.
Yeah, it's stabilizing, basically, with the Forge now on the way as well. But Stardust can have himself that upgrade advantage a little bit,
yeah, it's time to chrono into the probes for both players, to get that economy out, to get the gases on the natural. I do like the fact that this Forge is down nice and early for Stardust with this +1. It has not been spotted yet by BabyKnight.
Might get himself Phoenix.
His Phoenixes just can't get to the probe line. They'd love to, but they can't.
It was close. He's going to keep this observer over here so that he knows exactly when they jump in, and when they do, he can grab himself at least one.
BabyKnight going straight for an Immortal here. No Forge. Yeah. And that is going to play a big factor because there'll be a +1 attack. Or at least hasn't started as +1, sorry. There'll be a +1 attack quite before for Stardust here. And I do like the position of Stardust. Just because of his +1 attack, the fact that he has quite a few of these Stalkers and Blink already done.
Yeah.
He's adding in Immortal, taking a third.
Like any extra Stalker, wow.
Hello, 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 hello.
Any extra Stalkers that Stardust actually adds on from here as well makes it all the more superior. He's rocketing up in terms of third. He's got the tech advantage. He's got Templar Archives on the way as well. So this is getting a bit scary for BabyKnight. He needs to do something.
So this third's coming in, which is rather big. If unscouted.
Phoenix might get it quickly.
If scouted, we could see an attack. But the thing is, he just doesn't have Blink or anything to really combat Stardust's army properly. So even if he sees this, I really don't think he can attack into it. I think he would have to expand himself.
He might have to.
I mean, let's just watch the production tab for BabyKnight. He sees it. What's his reaction? More gateways? Yeah, he's going to try and attack.
Yeah.
He's going to try and attack into this.
This is difficult.
But there are Phoenixes. They can lift up the Immortals of his opponent. That could be big. So maybe this can work for him. Of course, it's not the end of the world if this Nexus is blown up, as long as Stardust doesn't throw all his army to defend it.
It's on the Stalker numbers. The Observer's keeping an eye on this, and he knows that his opponent knows.
Yeah, he cancelled it over. He cancelled
it.
He's like, whatever. I can't hold that.
Yeah.
But +2 on the way. More gateways coming in. He can hold on 2 bases. He's chrono boosting all into the gateways. He is without a mothership core still.
Wow, I can't believe he doesn't have a mothership core.
Yeah, he's just now building it. He's like, I'll get ready with my photon overcharge on 2 bases. I'm going to be fine. He's like, oh, wait a minute. I never got one in this entire game.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, BabyKnight's like, all right, cool, defended. But without a photon overcharge, that's pretty big, to be fair.
All right, gets himself a pylon, and I don't think he should be really doing anything from here. It'll be...
Well, he could because photon overcharge is gone. There is no photon overcharge. He can lift up both Immortals.
How many
Blink
Stalkers
is
does
big.
he have? Yeah, it is. Like, well, it's only 6 extra Stalkers, but again, with the defensiveness of them.
He shouldn't attack into it. It's too risky. I mean, he could, but it's too risky.
BabyKnight's choosing the smart option. He like draws his opponent to the front and then goes in for some few probes at the back.
And then expands at the back.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But is falling behind with his upgrades quite drastically because he didn't have that Twilight Council as a part of his opening build, which Stardust did. So +2 started naturally faster. And both of them can go ahead and take a third now.
All right. And BabyKnight has chosen his big option, which is the double Robo facility into double Colossus production. But, hey, Stardust's looking sort of aggressive.
Well, Stardust, I mean, they were both similar in armies. They were both 61 supply not long ago. But Stardust is just continuing to build units, realizes he has a +2 attack advantage, also knows in this type of PvP, in that scenario, situation, you move out, cancel your opponent's third, take your own, you're in the lead. Like, that's a kind of natural thing that happens a lot in this matchup. So Stardust is saying, all right, cool, if he's going to do that, then what happens if I just attack and use what I have as an advantage here with Blink, with +2, with Archons in the mix, And it was going to be quite difficult for BabyKnight to hold this, I think. As much as those Phoenixes are quite good at lifting up, there's Archons and a lot of Stalkers, which can shoot them down fast, which drops the Immortals again. And
with the higher gateway unit count as well here for Stardust, it's like lifts can only do so much. Yeah. And you spread yourself out across all of these gateway units. There's a lot of power.
But if the Colossus get in the game changes again. Yeah. But they're quite far away. He's trying to get them out here. They do help a lot.
There is Photon Overcharge already activated.
Stardust is going for this. 111. Photon Overcharge is going to be needed. Lifts are going to be needed. Ideally, you know, cannons are needed. Everything is needed. Because if he gets up to Colossus, he's in pretty good shape again.
Going to try and zone out on this right-hand side for some reason.
2 Colossus are there.
He's bought the time.
That changes the state of the game again. I mean, Stardust hasn't seen it, but he knows his opponent's tucked on 2 bases and has given up that third, but he needs at least to kill it.
And the longer he waits, plus 2 weapons, thermal lance, these upgrades are going to make a big difference. If he waits for too long, he needs to do something.
There's another 2 Colossus as well.
Uh-oh. He needs to do something. There's the time warp. It signals the engagement here as Stardust is actually going to move forwards with a lot of this. Few Zealots do get caught up during all of this. One of those Colossi was being focused down by the Stalkers, has to walk out, and with the arc, with damage being suppressed, with those Stalkers denying the Colossi being at the front, I think Stardust is going to break this.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to power through. BabyKnight not quite with enough units to defend, and a good move from Stardust.
Good moves indeed. Again, getting on top of those Colossi was of the utmost importance. Yeah. They didn't have Thermal Lance. They weren't able to really rain down the power that they needed to. And Stardust breaks this natural.
He does indeed, and he takes game number 1 here in the last decider. 1-0.
All right, so now Stardust is 1 game away from kind of proving a lot of people's predictions right. It was always going to be, well, a lot of people thinking that Stardust and First were the 2 guys going through. But in which order? BabyKnight has shown here that despite retiring, he still has fight left in him. That could have gone a completely different way if Stardust hadn't executed properly.
Right. Next map between these two, Habitation Station. And we are drawing closer and closer towards the end of this broadcast. Now just potentially 1 map away if Stardust can clear this up and escape the threat and the death of playing from Korea in the round of 32. It's caught a couple of people's lives already in this season. Could catch his if he makes mistakes here. But loading into this one, BabyKnight played a good PvP. Played actually, you know, it was a good game from him. But he is playing against a world-class player, and Stardust is looking the better at the moment and is looking like the player to move through. Here. Yeah, it looks like a couple of people had issues loading, including yourself. So
yeah,
we'll jump into this in a sec. I wonder what's going through BabyKnight's mind right now. It must be a mix of feelings and emotions, because on one hand he's 1 map from leaving StarCraft, or he's 2 maps away from extending his career by a couple of months, at least a couple of weeks, because the round of 16 is only a couple of weeks away. Yeah.
All right, so as you said, Habitation Station is the map. I'm wondering, I think that we could see this game drawn out again.
Yeah.
In terms of how that one went. I mean, Habitation Station, I don't think BabyKnight would go for something like Stargate into Oracle again, because we saw how that panned down. I don't know, we'll see.
He could proxy.
Could. It's his last game, potentially.
Yes, it is. It is the last game, and this is the start of a very difficult second half of the round of 32 for the Europeans, for sure. You've got First through, you've got Stardust trying to get through, you've got MC, MMA, all these players waiting to really take their chance to move through. Patience, another player waiting. And they will fight hard, so we'll see if European can squeeze through, or if it's going to be our 4th Korean.
All right, spawning up to the top left-hand corner, currently 1 game up. Looking to advance on, it's Mind Sanity Stardust. And up to the top right-hand corner, potentially 1 game away from not doing as much in StarCraft anymore. It is, BabyKnight.
Yeah, has left Millennium with his retirement. In StarCraft makes sense why they're going to support a retired player. Yeah, doesn't really make sense. So we'll see what the future holds for BabyKnight, and it really does start here. As mentioned before, Stardust is just trying to, make sure he can survive the round of 32, become his clinical self in the round of 16, where I'm sure it'd be worth giving everybody a fight, from MC to MMA to anybody, really. He's capable of beating absolutely anybody in this tournament.
Yeah. I think we've got a lot of good groups coming up, though, in the round of 32, of course. You're saying we've got some big, hard-hitting Koreans in there. Likewise, some very big, hard-hitting Europeans with people like Vortex and Happy in there. So definitely a good week coming for sure here in WCS Europe. Looking forward to a lot of those groups.
13 gateway apiece, both of them scouting inside their main bases. And even Stardust gonna scout to the natural 2, which is where he lost versus that proxy rush from first earlier on today. So more precaution from Stardust, but both players a little bit worried against the potential.
Double gas for both of them as well. Very, very similar times. As seeing a complete mirror out from here. Wondering how BabyKnight is really going to open this up again. If he did go for Stargate, I would be very, very surprised. But
Stargate seems one of the better builds recently. Phoenix builds are quite strong.
I like the Phoenix
Lots
builds.
of scouting, aggression. You can defend with them. You can do a lot with them, like we saw BabyKnight do previous, which is why they are becoming quite popular.
And he always did like Phoenix builds, did BabyKnight.
They scout before a... I mean, if you think about in Wings of Liberty, is when you went Phoenix builds, which is where they were quite popular, a Dark Templar build was an instant, loss because you didn't have detection.
Yeah.
But with the Oracle, it softened up the build a little bit, so it's made it a little bit better to use. Blink play quite common, aggression to try to, kill a player while he techs. These are the things that players usually choose between, and whether it be a personal preference, a tendency, maybe I can get away with this. Those are the reasons why.
Yeah. A little bit of a mineral bank up there for BabyKnight for a second, and all thrown straight into the Mothership core as well.
And
as
this should be spotted. This should be scouted.
Yeah, he'll see this. So
no, he doesn't know.
Oh, hey, why did you go so far?
It should have been spotted, and now that's information, free information.
That's really weird.
That has not been gathered.
All right then.
So it is. He could end up losing in the Mothership core, by the way.
Yeah.
Because of that free information not gathered.
Yeah, because I don't see why BabyKnight now, with that probe going in and like poking around, I don't see why he would go Oracle.
Yeah, I've lost my Mothership core in this position plenty of time, and it's very annoying. And then more so in this regard because he could have seen it.
Double gateway.
Yeah, 3 gate here. He's going to lose his Mothership core, which I guess doesn't matter as much. But, for example, if there's an Oracle to follow this up or something. But 3 gate pressure versus 1 gate Stargate is going to be the choice here, and it has been spotted by BabyKnight. But in return of potentially losing this, he shouldn't have enough energy to recall yet. Yeah, look how close it is.
Yeah, it's a bit sad for Stardust.
Yeah, and he's just going to slow BabyKnight down, kill as many probes as he can, and he shouldn't be able to recall. But he may be able to. It's very close, actually.
Try and recall. Try and recall.
He's just giving up.
Okay,
yeah, whatever. He's just slowing his opponent down to try to make sure his 3 gate can work. He's got the probe on the other side. He's got the Twilight Council behind this, which could be DTs, could be Blink, depending on how he feels this out, I imagine, with the defense. But he knows he's playing against Phoenix and the Mothership core. So he's going to have to play like quiet. It's going to be hard to crack that.
Yeah, Phoenix now on the way to have a look around. That's going to spot the Twilight Council as well, I would imagine, if they get in there.
Looks like he's given up his 3 gate aggression because the Stalkers are back home defending, helping the Mothership core out.
Yeah.
Protecting his probe line.
Did see the Twilight Council. Adding on more Phoenix.
It looks like it's just going to be faster into Blink, so it's going to be a very similar game to previous.
He didn't actually click on it the first time, so he wanted to go back in and be sure.
Yeah, it's a very similar previous game, actually. Especially if BabyKnight tries to be aggressive.
Ooh, pylon down to the south here, though, for Stardust. And BabyKnight is going for an expansion by look. Oh, wait.
No, he's actually going to be aggressive, moving out like that.
I was going to say, I wonder where that probe was going. But
probe gets in, doesn't really get too much, gets picked up, and gets stuck.
Aww.
And then killed. So this is a high Stalker count that's rising quite fast. If this is an expansion play, then
on BabyKnight.
How is BabyKnight gonna How is BabyKnight gonna stop all of these Stalkers?
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult.
If this is aggression, how is BabyKnight gonna stop all these Stalkers? Either way, that's a lot of Stalkers being built by Stardust.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see the approach that BabyKnight takes here. There's a pylon on the other side of the map, but Blink is so big. We saw what happened last time.
Exactly. Exactly. And that Zealot now actually works its way in as well. Did force the Photon Overcharge, which is quite nice. More Phoenix are going to be the answer. He's going up to 7 Phoenix. Wow. It's quite a lot. I guess isolate some of these units. Again, Phoenix take a long time to die off
Blink's
in
not
these
ready
engagements.
yet. Photon overcharges, though. That's a big difference compared to the previous game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Didn't even add a mothership for so long.
Yeah, but it's now ready.
Starts picking up units and gets one.
Oh, trying to get the Phoenix.
Oh, he could have used the Photon Overcharge on that.
4th gateway coming in from Stardust. And he's actually going to, should be using his range a little bit here. Balance on the edge of the Photon Overcharge. Use the range Stalkers to get some damage done.
He's going to try, I think.
Yeah. If he gets lifted, he can fall back. And then, of course, the Photon Overcharge is his defense.
Yeah, that one Stalker might be the focal point. Tries and gets one Phoenix that was lifting. Tries to lift a lot here. It's kind of divide and conquering with those Zealots now going to work on the Stalkers on the floor. But
fighting into Photon Overcharge.
Yeah, he's trying his best. Army counts 30 to 24. Technically, BabyKnight's in the lead, but he doesn't have any lifts left.
No, and he's also run out of Zealots.
Okay, that's not going to work out with no lifts.
Yeah, no lifts, no Zealots. Probes are coming off because he can buffer with a few because he knows that all he needs to do is stop this momentum gathering for BabyKnight. And he stopped it pretty much.
There's a pile on the high ground he can have for free as well.
Another 3 Stalkers can be warped in a couple of seconds here. Oh, he loses the Photon Overcharge, which does hurt, but it's 2 Stalkers and a Zealot. But now it's all about this Blink Micro.
Yeah, and he does have a few lifts here once again, so this could still tip in BabyKnight's favor if he controls this properly. Army counts 18 to 12 even, and BabyKnight, he needs more lifts and he doesn't have them.
Yeah, he's running out of steam with his units here. And more Stalkers can be warped in. The pylons are going to start to get cleaned up. He's got a couple more lifts.
It's all good and dandy having the lifts, but if you don't have the ground units as well for these Phoenix to be complemented by, then don't do too much. All he's got is Zealots, so
yeah,
he just micros
if he
against
starts
it.
to target any Phoenixes down, that is a big danger for BabyKnight.
Yeah.
Cannot let that happen because that is all he's focusing on. Only Phoenixes. And again, what has he got now? He's going to lose another pylon in the break between warp-ins. And now there's too many Stalkers to combat, I think, for these Phoenixes. Where is he going to go?
Yeah, this is bad times here for BabyKnight. He's going to have to like try and counter-harass.
Yeah, it may just fall back to both players expanding shortly because the aggression's almost ended. I don't think he can really do this anymore with the Phoenixes.
Stardust swaps in 2 Zealots on the other side of the map. Maybe just going for the mineral line.
Oh, Stardust got 29 probes. He's chronoboosting more probes, saying, go on, bro, kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, more than enough. If you keep killing my probes, I'm going to have more than enough, and you can't stop me.
And he doesn't, he really, well,
so
okay, he has
this
a few left.
This is like a double-edged sword here. He like stabs it into Stardust. He's like, all right, cool, killing your economy. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because he's got so many probes.
Yeah, and now he doesn't have any more lifts.
No,
and whilst
not
he
at
pushes
all.
up.
And now Stardust is on the other side. Photon Overcharge is activated, but, you know, to what end?
He gets himself a sentry. The Mothership Core's trying to be out of range as much as possible, but it has to be here. It has to aid in the fight. There's not that many lifts. 2 more left in these Phoenix numbers. Tries to force this away out the Photon Overcharge.
And he killed off quite a few probes there. Nice win. To saturate these bases, it only takes, you know, 22 odd probes.
Yeah.
About 22 probes. Stardust still has 27. He can lose 5, 6.
That being said, though, the Phoenix numbers, as they rise, you replenish lifts quicker, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got more, so...
And there is another Photon Overcharge, and that's what, you know, BabyKnight's hoping for, is to overwhelm with Phoenixes eventually. And yes, he can go in and kill off a lot of probes now. Sure, that will drain Stardust a little bit, but he has to think about defense and balancing the both of them.
Mothership Core still alive. Very, very important here as he gets himself a Zealot, but these Stalkers... Are they really going to do anything? Not by the looks of things.
Oh, another 3 Stalkers can be warped in here, and they're starting to get quite a lot.
As these, because the Phoenix are rising to such a number now, it becomes really exponential, just like Stalkers do, right?
Yeah.
They become so powerful with each one.
So do Stalkers, though.
Yeah.
You know, the higher blinks that they have.
So many to kill. Like, there's so many Phoenix to kill. Like, if he just goes in, lifts one, lift. He doesn't have that many Zealots, though.
Yeah, Zealots underneath and Sentries is quite important, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Guardian Shield for the win. All right.
Photon Overcharge almost down.
And there it goes. He's going to go in now. Starts lifting. And gets quite a few of them. Picks up quite a lot during all of that. But there's a lot of Stalkers here. The Phoenix number now 7 against 14 Stalkers. More reinforcing. A few Zealots could come from the low ground to actually help out. But the Stalker number isn't falling as quickly as the Phoenix number is. Where are the
5
Stalkers?
Phoenixes. Now,
okay.
11 Stalkers, 6 Phoenixes.
They're expensive as well with a Phoenix. Got to remember that.
Photon Overcharge up again.
Hard to replenish all those Phoenix once you lose them. Easier to replenish these Stalkers once you lose them. And BabyKnight now trying to trade off against Phoenix and Stalker. What a weird PvP.
And he's run out of all this energy now as well. He only has 1 or 2 lifts left.
Yeah.
And it's 11 more Stalkers. The economy's not touched anymore for Stardust because BabyKnight cannot afford to get to the other side. And Stardust edging closer and closer towards the top 16 here within the Premier League.
Imagine if he'd somehow snuck in a DT Shrine. Just
yeah, it's an instant win.
But again, Stardust is kind of making this work.
Yeah,
it's
but
a long
before
process.
it was similar Stalker numbers to like 11 Phoenix.
Yeah,
now it's the same Stalkers to 7. No Photon Overcharge.
Easier to replenish. Focuses down the Phoenix once again, knowing that those are the big factor in here. No Photon Overcharge, as you mentioned. Those Stalkers just blinking back out of range of those Zealots, making it harder and harder for BabyKnight to ever take these engagements. 31 army supply to 20.
Mothership Core down, Sentry down, Stalker down. Phoenixes without energy left.
Bye-bye.
BabyKnight. This looks like this is the end of BabyKnight's career in StarCraft 2 with his retirement announced. And without going further in this tournament, it's the end of a very talented European Protoss.
Yep, the absolute last stand here as BabyKnight loses the majority of probes, blinks on forwards here for Stardust, trying to take himself to the round of 16. There you go, there's the smiley face.
Yeah, he knows. See you soon, BabyKnight. Maybe see you in Legacy of the Void. It is a sad day for him to leave like this, but that is it. Started his career within the WCS. He finishes it within the WCS.
A smiler to the end is BabyKnight, just like Stardust, dancing his units at the end there. No hard feelings meant, though, from Stardust, as these two are indeed friends. And congratulations to Stardust for advancing through to the round of 16.
Yeah, congratulations to him, and he will be a force to be reckoned with alongside a couple of other good players that we've already seen gone through. Stardust escapes from the round of 32 and will be looking to perform well from here on out.
That's certainly true. All right, so we now know the 2 players moving through from Group E here. It's going to be first place.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually have BabyKnight ready now to go, so we might as well jump into this. We were actually going to, win or lose today for BabyKnight. We were going to have a discussion with him, and hopefully this works. I'm just going to jump right into it. I think it's better than a break. Are you ready? To have a couple of words with BabyKnight to see him off more so. Stardust from Korea without a translator is more difficult to set up, but we were going to have words with BabyKnight. I'm going to attempt this, Kalaris, live.
This is raw. This is raw.
All right. Let's see if you can hear me when it rings. I'm going to have a couple of words. I'm already tearing up. We've lost BabyKnight from...
It's a sad time.
Yes.
He was one of my favorite Europeans.
All right. He says that it shouldn't lag, so we should be able to do this.
Hopefully it won't. Okay.
If not, we might have to go to break to do this.
I unmuted it.
I guess I'll try again. One more time.
The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable.
One more time. If not, we'll have to come back from it. It's calling.
It's not working. It's not going to do it. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, we're going to have to come back to it, Claris.
All right. Now. Join us after the break when we talk to the recently retired BabyKnight here at WCS Europe. Welcome back, guys, to the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. We were initially wanting to have a bit of an interview with BabyKnight, but because of technical issues, unfortunately, we're unable to do so.
He couldn't join us on the show. He tried, and we did try within that break to try and fix it, but unfortunately, he couldn't join us today. So that really does it for today's group.
Yes, it does. So actually, we can take a look at the overarching structure of the round of 32, as we have 5 of our groups now already concluded.
Yeah, looking pretty good so far. Some awesome players have made it into the round of 16. Unfortunately, some good players have left us as well. So far, so good. But next week, when we return on Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we start the week of epicness with MC, TLO, Happy, and Golden, and it just gets better every day we go on. Once again, a 3-day week. Yeah,
we've got players like MMA and Vortex and Grubby in there for the final couple of groups as well. Very, very awesome week of StarCraft to come. But also, guys, don't forget, the round of 16 after that will be starting very soon. And you can go over to WCSEurope.eventbrite.com, where you can get tickets to come and join us here in Cologne.
Yep, you don't want to miss coming to watch the round of 16 live. This season, as mentioned multiple times, is going to be the best season that we've had so far. Come and experience it live. Come touch the players. Come get their autographs. Come have some fun. It always will be.
All right, so that pretty much wraps things up here at Group E. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. We shall see you same time next week.